I remember being in these groups. I remember being in your position. I remember thinking, is the person across from me that I'm listening to, did they make their money from digital real estate? And the answer was usually no. Okay. And I had goals, I had aspirations, I had big goals. I wanted to get to $100,000 per month. That was my goal. $100,000 per month. And I sat there and went, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to $100,000 a month because nobody has ever proven it. And all the people that I know that are making money in this space, they're not making money from doing the actual thing, right? It would be the same as, in the gold rush, looking at it and going, man, there's not really anyone making money, mining gold. Everyone's making their money from selling the picks and selling the shovels and having the cafes on the corner and selling the sandwiches and selling the whatever. And that's what I sat there and looked at. And for me, I realized, you know what? I just made this decision at the beginning of 2020, end of 2019. I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I don't care if no one else has done it. I don't care if I bought 20 programs. I think I bought like 5 at this time. I'm going to figure this out. So I made this channel. I made this group. I made the YouTube channel, all the different things. I made these things because they're what I wish I would have had. I wish I would have had a mentor. I wish I would have had somebody that would have been able to, I could have looked into the future and said, hey, that person's already been where I want to go. And I want to ask them the questions. I want to follow their path. So everything that I'm doing on here, I speak from experience because I've been there, I've done that, and I can speak on it literally just from, and today we're going to be talking about how I went $60,000 in debt with rank and rent before I made my first million. That should terrify you. That should scare you. That should put you right on your behind going, man, is this the business I want to get into? Should I be doing this? And I'm going to be completely honest. This isn't a clickbait. This is clickbait, but I'm going to live up to it because it's literally what happened. I actually went $60,000 in debt with rank and rent before I started making money. And that's the truth. Okay. So that said, guys, again, as I already mentioned, quick shout out to Curtis Tam for getting his deal. People are making money. People are doing deals. People are quitting their jobs. Shout out to Ryan Dalton. Ryan freaking Dalton I think I saw his post, $75,000 per month. He's on pace to do this month. And Ryan's the type of guy, he doesn't say he's on pace to do something unless he knows darn well he's going to hit it. Homie's going to hit $75,000 per month. He's almost to that magical $83,333.33 that puts you at $1 million over 12 months. So congrats to Ryan Dalton, who started, guys, mind you, Ryan Dalton started less than 2 years ago into this business model, and he's at $75,000 per month. Okay, let that sink in. $75,000 per month. Mr. Ryan Dalton, less than 2 years, holding a full-time job, got a dog, got kids, got a wife, got big boy stuff, goes to the gym, takes care of people, has these, I mean, the dude's busy. This is the only model you can freaking scale to $75,000 per month to keep a full-time job. It's absolutely bananas, okay? So, I mentioned this on my call in Digital Landlords. Obviously, you guys should be familiar with it, but I'm going to start doing some fun stuff. I want to start getting people on these calls. I want to start getting people excited. I want to start giving you guys a reason to hop on these calls. And so I'm going to start doing a lot of giveaways. I'm going to start adding value in terms of the content that we share, the things that we say, the things that I teach, but also I want to make it fun. I'm going to start giving stuff away. So this week we're coming up with a bunch of different items that we're going to start giving away on these calls. Today I have one such item. It's something simple. These are things that I want to produce that you guys are going to use, that we use every single day. So right now I have these made. These are kind of dope. These are the mouse pad. These are the Digital Landlord mouse pad. Got the smiley badge, a nice squishy feel. If you put it on your hand, it's real nice on the palm. For those of you guys that have those rough palms from lifting weights, these are what we've produced. We got one item out so far. So I'm going to give a bunch of these away today. This is in our store. If you win one of these today, then you're going to go into our store. You're going to get the link. You're going to go put in the code that you get from Fix It Felix, and you are going to have this shipped directly to your house. It's simple. It's whatever, but it's something that you're going to use every single day. If you use a laptop, guys, these make great drink holders. Put your water bottles on them. Frickin' put your drink cups. Do whatever. You put your face on it. Put it on the ground. But I'm going to be giving a bunch of these away today. So I want you guys to participate. I want you to be on these calls. I want you guys to bring the energy, and I'm going to be giving some stuff away. But we're also going to be doing digital products. We're also going to be doing t-shirts, hats, a bunch of fun stuff. So get on these calls. I'm going to incentivize people to be on these calls live. I'm going to give a bunch of these away today. So that said, there's the mouse pad. Just wanted to mention that. Again, guys, we're on a hot spot. If I'm lagging a little bit, deal with it. That's just what we're going to do. Okay. One thing I want to mention, I was going to drink of water here. I've had a thought this week, all week, and I heard somebody say this a long time ago, and it's always resonated with me. But the most successful people in business that I've seen, and I've heard this person say this, and I've really just tried to watch for it, and I've seen that it's true. But they're the business people, the men and the women that zig when everybody else zags. Okay, when everyone else is doing one thing, they're looking to do the exact opposite thing. And I remember hearing this speech, hearing this lecture. And this guy was talking about these different ways that he was zigging while everyone else was zagging. And he had such creative things that he was doing to get people's attention, such creative things he was doing to raise money, such creative things he was doing to get these big, massive accounts, these Fortune 500 companies. And I always remembered that. And so I've always tried to put that into my business. And so, guys, just as a friendly reminder, I like to come on here and share some of the things that I'm learning. But guys, remember that when everyone else is doing one thing, you should probably be thinking, should I do the opposite? And so I'm also, in the same breath, I'm a big believer that success leaves clues, right? That if there's a proven formula out there, you should use it to get the same result. Get to that same result that that person has modeled. And then from there, you can start to iterate, right? So, I've done it. I've got up to $100,000 per month. I know, and you know, that you can follow my model and my training inside of Digital Landlords, and that you have the recipe and you have the script, you have everything you need to get to at least, I actually hit 125K one month, but let's just say 100 to make it easy. You could get to $100,000 per month. Get to that place that you want to get to, whether it's 50, whether it's whatever, anything less than $100,000, this is going to work. Okay. Now I've never gotten to $200,000. I know it would work, but as soon as I got to like 100, 125, I started doing Digital Landlords, and that's consumed a lot of my time. And so I put a bunch of my focus into that. But anything shy of $100,000, you can model what I'm doing to get there. Okay. And then once you get to that point, then you start zigging while everyone's zagging. You're like, okay, I'm at 50 grand now. Nick's using Google ads and he's getting his leads with Google ads. I like his process. Let me try. What would happen if I tried Facebook ads? What if I tried Bing ads? What if I tried something entirely different? What if I tried freaking Pinterest ads, right? I don't know. What if I tried billboards? Because, and I've mentioned this before, guys, the reason that we run ads is so that we can get the results up front. If we could magically get our websites to rank on page one, day one, that's what we would do, because it wouldn't cost us any money. It would be organic leads, but we can't. So we want to speed the process up. That's why we use paid advertising. Why do we use Google ads? Because Google ads is predictable. Google ads is something you can pay to play. Google ads is something that's quick. Google ads is the most predictable, quickest way to get leads coming in to go secure the deal and then build out the property. That's why we use Google. But I'm not emotional. I'm not romantic about using Google. If it's Bing tomorrow, I don't care. If it's Facebook tomorrow, I don't care. If it's Pinterest tomorrow or TikTok tomorrow, I do not care. It's just what I believe is that you must give value up front if you want to close deals. And you need to be, and again, why does this process work? Why does the system work? It's because we're doing what no one else is willing to do. Every other marketer out there, every other lead generator out there is calling up with their hand out and saying, hey, I want to work with you, but you got to give me money. You got to give me money first. Instead of saying, hey, let me get you some value up front. Let me give you some leads up front, and then we'll talk. And that's why this works, is because we're zigging while everyone else is zagging. Okay. So guys, I'm doing this in all facets of my business, all facets of my life. If I see everyone's eating the same thing, I'm sitting there going, man, maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's it. I'll get to that point, and then I'm going to start iterating. If I see everyone is doing the same thing in their groups, I want to start changing, and I'm getting to that point. And so guys, one of the things I'm working on right now is with Digital Landlords. I'm revamping everything. Okay. I'm revamping everything, specifically the pricing structure. And what I'm doing is it's exciting, but it's also scaring the living daylights out of me. And it's going to make a lot of you guys wonder if I've completely lost my mind and start gossiping about who do I think I am. I'm okay with that, but I'm going to zig while everyone else zags. Okay. So again, do not listen to what I say. Just watch what I do. Watch me consistently get up on these lives. Watch me when the freaking internet goes out. I don't throw my hands up and blame everybody else and go, oh my gosh. And I just get on. I'm like, what can I do? Well, my options are very simple. I can either postpone the live, I can pre-record it and post it, or I could try a hotspot. Tried a hotspot. It's working. We're going to cross our fingers. I'm improvising. I'm making the best that I can. This is how it goes, guys. This is how it goes sometimes. You have the process. You think you're going to get it. You send the screencast. You tell the business owner to bring their partner. You tell them to be by computer. They call you. They're 30 minutes late to the call, and they're sitting at a gas station on their phone. And you're like, that's not how it's supposed to go. And sometimes you should reschedule, and sometimes you just got to send it. You do the best that you can, and you make it move, or you make it work from there. So guys, again, watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying. Okay. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Watch what I'm doing, because what I'm doing tells you everything. What I'm doing is following my process that I teach in Digital Landlords on you guys. I'm giving you the value. This is my free leads. And I say this every week. I'm on this call because I'm going to sell you guys my program at some point. Okay. That's the reality. At some point, you guys are going to pull your heads out and realize that it's not worth you piecing everything together and taking the time to watch a YouTube video and document this when you can just pay somebody, me, who's already done it, have the formula, go make money, get to escape the rat race and move on with your life and go and chase other stuff if that's what you want to do, or double down, get to 100,000, 150, 200,000, start investing, start changing your life. And I understand some of you guys, it's going to take you 3 years before you get to that point, because you're going to sit there and jerk around. And finally, one day you're going to go, oh my gosh, probably should have just done this. And right now you're wasting money. It's opportunity cost. You're wasting so much money. It's costing you so much money to wait. But I understand how this works. I understand some of you guys just joined the group yesterday. You're going to hear this live. You're going to go, man, I like how this guy talks. I like the way that he's adding value for free. I can't imagine what's on the inside. Let me go ahead and apply to that program, and let me get on the inside. But I also know there's some of you guys that will never join, and you guys will continue to blame everybody else, and that's okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add value. I don't care if there's one of you on. I don't care if there's 100 of you on. I'm going to bring the heat. I've prepared for this call. I'm going to give you guys a message. I'm going to give you something with my intention is to make you money. And you guys are going to take that into the marketplace and go and make money. And then I'm going to have you back next week and next week and next week. And why do you think I'm giving stuff away? Okay. Watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying, right? Why would I give stuff away? It costs me money, right? Why would I give stuff away? I want to give stuff away because I want to get you guys excited to get on these calls. It's simple. It's whatever. I get it. Maybe because some of you guys don't want, I don't care. But I do stuff like this. I do giveaways. I'm doing, whatever, these different things. I'm trying to make this entertaining. I'm trying to make this fun. Why? Because I want you guys to show up on the calls. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I want you to show up on the calls? Well, because I want to be top of mind. I want you guys to be thinking about me when you finally pull your head out of your ass and decide to go in on this business. I want my face to be on your mind. Okay. I want to be top of mind. And that's going to require me getting creative. So how can we apply that to our business owners? How can we stay top of mind with our business owners? What are some of the things that we can do? I don't know. Maybe we can send them swag. Maybe not. Maybe there's different ways. Maybe it's checking in, an automated way to check in with them every month. Maybe it's sending them a birthday message or a card, even if they're not our client. I don't know what you guys want to do. I'm just asking you to watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying. Okay. So guys, once again, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm completely overhauling Digital Landlords. I'm going to make it very different than any other program out there in terms of the pricing structure of what it costs to get in, the qualifications to get in, who we turn away, who we don't turn away. I'm going to turn it on its head, just like I turned this business model. And then others will follow. Okay. Because I'm at a point right now where I don't need the cash. I can afford to have a down year. I don't even need a down. I can afford to have a down month. I can afford to have a down year. I can have a down couple years, because I know that it's worth having a couple down years to go 15 steps forward. Okay. Guys, let me tell you guys how I went $60,000 in debt in this business model. Okay. Yes, you heard that right. If you're jumping on this call, which I don't even know, what do we got? A few people on. Thank you guys for being on. I don't care if there's 7 of you on. We're going to make this worth every second of your time. And I appreciate you guys being on. Okay. By the way, if you guys want one of these and whatever, drop a comment so I know who's on and I can see and I can say, hey, you win, you win, you win, you win. If you guys are interested, then let me know you're on. Okay. I don't know if you're on unless you drop a comment. Okay. But guys, I'm going to tell you my story. Just a piece of it. And I want you guys, the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I want to earn your trust. And I'm tired of every single post I see, every YouTube video I see about any business model, whether it's SMMA, whether it's freaking drop shipping, whether it's this, that, and the rest. Every video is why it's so good. And I'm just tired of the content that I'm seeing. So I'm going to tell you guys that I got 60,000 US dollars, USD in debt before I started making real money. Okay. So quickly, because I know some of you guys have heard bits and pieces of the story. 2016 May, I'm knocking doors. It's my last year knocking doors. I knew this in my head. I knew this in my heart. I have a child. I have a house payment. I have 2 car payments. My wife has a child on the way, second child, and I make all my money at this period of my life. I make all my money in a 5-month span. Okay, 4 to 5 month span. I go out for the summer. I move across the country, usually in April, and I'm there April, May, June, July. And then the first part of August, sometimes mid-August, sometimes end of August, I'm home and I'm not working the rest of the year. I make all my money in this 5-month period. I'm telling you this because the timing was terrible. Okay. I had a call, not me, Kyle had a call with somebody this week, a couple days ago, maybe a week ago, maybe, I don't know what it was. And I heard this. The timing. I got a kid and I got this and the job and it's like, dude, there's never good timing. Do you know that was terrible timing when I got married? It was terrible timing, right? I didn't have any money. That was terrible. It was terrible timing when I decided to have kids. I didn't have any money. I wasn't stable. I barely know how to wipe my own ass, much less a child. Okay. It was terrible timing when I decided to start selling door to door. I didn't have sales skills. My dad was counting on me to work on the farm. My dad was counting on me to help him. It was bad timing, but I did it. Okay. It was bad timing. My very first trip when I started that door-to-door sales job, the first trip we did was over New Year's. Terrible timing. I love New Year's. I love staying up late, playing games, doing the whole thing. That was bad timing. It was bad timing. It's always been bad timing for me. It's never been, I can never remember a time when I've been like, yeah, this is good timing. Okay. When I started Digital Landlords, guys, it was terrible timing. It was the middle of the winter, which is the slow time. It was a Monday, which is something you don't ever launch a program on a Monday. Never. You want to do it on like a Thursday. You never want to do a webinar on a Monday. Okay. That was bad. It was a holiday weekend. It was Thanksgiving weekend. Also bad. I didn't have anything built. That's supposedly bad. I had to pre-sell it. I didn't have any testimonials. I didn't have any case studies, but guess what? I felt it in my gut. It's time to go. It's time to launch this thing. It's time to freaking go. And because that's how I operate my life, I sent it. And it was huge. It was massively successful. I had 33 or 32 people on the call. Everyone but one person bought the program. Okay. Every single person. And that one person, guess what? You know who you are because you're still trolling around in this group and you're still trying to give advice. And I DM'd you recently because I was like, oh, that's the one person that didn't buy. And I was like, how much money you making? Oh, I got 2 deals and I lost both of them. Go figure. Go figure. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Keep doing what you're doing because you could have had a completely different outcome, but you didn't. Okay, that's fine. So that's 2016. I'm in the middle of this job. I should be focusing on the job. I just knew I needed to start something because mentally I was done. So what did I do? I started researching. I started looking it up and I started thinking, man, instead of learning this, I'm going to go find somebody that's already done this. I'm going to pay them to teach me exactly what to do, and I'm going to go and do it because that's what I did when I got into sales. I went to the best sales guys. I followed them around. Give me your pitch. Give me your scripts. I'm going to say the exact same things that work for Jordan and the exact same things that work for Curtis and the exact same things that work for Dusty and the exact same things that work for JD, and I am going to make it work. I'm just going to follow them and I'm going to buy their stuff and I'm going to pay them whatever it costs me. And that's what I did. And it was very, very lucrative. Okay. So I did the same thing. I got on a call 2016 and I bought my first program. Okay. In 2016, after I bought it, and this is for those of you that are like, I don't have time. I have a full-time job. Guess what? I was knocking doors all day. I was hitting the gym at night and then I was working on my computer, on my stomach in the living room in the evening until I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. And I would wake up and I do that every single day. Imagine, guys, some of you guys that are bitching about having to go to work and then, oh, I got to do this and I got to burn the midnight oil. Imagine doing a job where every day you're out into the hot boiling sun in Arkansas or Alabama. You're sweating, you're getting rejected. It's mentally taxing, it's physically taxing, it's taxing on your freaking confidence. And then coming back, going to the gym with no energy, and then breaking out your computer, watching trainings, building websites, doing research, calling business owners, backlinks. But guys, I was so motivated because I was so tired of being in a position where I had to trade time for dollars. Okay. I was so tired of, hey, if I don't go knock today, I'm not making money. And I remember one of the years, I think it was 2015. I remember being sick. I remember not even being able to do anything that morning. I got in the bathtub. You guys know when you got the cold chills and the water splashing and you have it like broiling hot and it doesn't feel hot enough. That's me. I'm shivering in the tub and I'm like, dude, I got to go work today. And I'm looking at my kid and I'm looking at my wife and I'm like, we got to pay for this apartment and I've got goals that I hit. And guys, I freaking sucked it up and I went and worked that day completely sick, right? And as much as I'm proud of that, I don't want to be in a position where I have to work when I'm sick or the bills aren't paid. That's just not what I want to do. That's not the life that I want to live. If I'm sick, I want to sit in bed and freaking binge watch some good TV, eat some chicken noodle soup, have about 4 baths, drink a bunch of Sprite and Coke Zero, and sleep. Take care of my body. That's what I want to do. So 2016, I bought the program and I started working on it. Guys, also in 2016, guess what? I landed my first 2 deals. While I was still knocking doors, while I was still doing that job, I was prospecting, I was building, I was ranking websites, I was writing content, and I got my first 2 deals before I even finished that job. Within like 60 days, I got my first one. Within 90 days, I got my second deal. I had 2 deals before I even went back home to Utah. Okay. Amazing, right? Why? You're thinking, Nick, why didn't you just go do 100 of those? Yeah, good question. I got too smart for this. I started thinking, man, I don't know, man. I should probably do a software company. That sounds a lot cooler to tell people than telling people I do digital marketing. And I got too cute, too smart, and I walked away. And I tried to do a SaaS. I tried to do a software company. And guys, that all the money that I made that year, I put into that and I wasn't making any money. I was just spending and I was giving the developer and I was giving the developer. And long story short, I'm not blaming anyone, but that thing completely flopped, made no money. It really put me back. It put me in a position where I lost my confidence. I lost my momentum. I lost my money and I didn't know, I didn't know where to go. Okay. I completely abandoned Rank and Rent and tried to chase a software company for 12 months. Okay. Fast forward 2017, July 28th, I went all in on digital marketing. Okay. And I say digital marketing, not lead gen, because I quite honestly didn't really believe in the concept of lead gen at that point because I didn't have anyone that I could look at that say, yeah, that guy's killing it with lead gen. I actually started doing SEO deals because I needed that quick cash. I needed to pay the bills today. So I started doing SEO. And I remember that conversation sitting with my wife. She's like, Nick, she's like, look, you're getting scammed. This guy's not producing any software for you. Like you have to quit believing him. And she was right. And instantly in that moment, it just hit me. I'm like, I knew that. I knew that this business was going to fail. This is my software business. It's going to fail. I'm not going to be able to do it. And I started thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And that's when I dusted off the program. And I was like, I know how to build websites, kind of. I know how to do SEO, kind of. Let me go get some SEO deals. And my wife's like, no, you need to get a job because you need to take care of the family and you've been chasing the pipe dream and enough is enough. And imagine as a man, how that wounds your pride. Imagine as being the man, the guy that was always the top guy in the sales office, always the guy that everyone wanted to ask questions to, going from that to freaking in the dirt, right? And it was a big shot of my pride. And I begged her, I'm like, give me 3 days. It was the 27th. I think it was the 28th. Give me till August 1st. I will have enough money to pay our bills. We needed about 3 grand. And in those 4 days, I came up with 3 grand. I pre-sold 3 websites, went and built those out, collected the 3 grand, and I paid our bills. And it was the best feeling in the world. That $3,000 was amazing because it'd been a year since I was actually making money. I would just been spending it and spending it and spending it. Okay. So that's 2017, July. 2018, I'm doing SEO the rest of 2017 and about halfway through 2018, it hits me. I'm like, dude, I can't continue like this because every time I get to 10,000, then I lose a client and I go down to 7 because I had a couple of big clients and I'd go down to 5 and I'd go to 6. And I realized, man, I got to go back into lead gen because that's where the assets are. And so I was like, it just clicked. I'm like, I got to get into lead gen. And I remember it was July 2018. Because that's when we separated the company, we incorporated Evergreen Enterprises, which was Evergreen Leads at the time, and we started focusing on lead generation. Okay. We still had the SEO deals paying the bills, but we started focused on lead generation. And guys, this is the key. And this is what I want to tell you guys where I've gotten into trouble is I made the mistake of doing the pay per lead model with a shitty due diligence process. And I want to repeat that. I made the mistake of doing the pay per lead model with a due diligence process that was outdated and not sound from a program that used to be relevant but was no longer relevant, but I didn't know at the time. So what I was doing and what actually ended up happening is one of those two deals that I got in the very beginning when I was telling you guys I was still doing that job and I was still in Alabama, I was still doing my door-to-door sales job. One of those deals was a pay-per-lead deal, which I would never do again. Okay, but I didn't know that. And people in the groups that I were in were like, yeah, do pay per lead because you can make as much money as you want, right? And it sounds good on paper. And it was in an industry and specifically a city that was extremely competitive. But I got the one honest business owner, the one business owner that was good at closing, and he was good enough on the phone. He was good enough at closing that the leads that I was sending him, he was making money on. So he had no problem paying me exactly what I was sending him. And he was really good about it. And so I'm sitting here going, man, this works. Pay per lead it is. And by the way, I'll tell you guys the industry I was in. I was in this industry called foundation repair, which is super high ticket. It looks really good on paper. And it worked with that specific client because he was good. And the area I somehow ranked because it wasn't that low hanging of fruit. My due diligence process was terrible, but I made money and I just mistakenly assumed that I was good and that was the right industry. And I didn't know what I was doing, guys. And I went and I built 50 plus websites in this one freaking industry, all with the intention of doing pay per lead. Okay. And guys, let me just tell you what happened. Everything was doing okay. And I was smart enough that I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to make sure that we at least have a guaranteed amount of leads these guys will buy. So I tried to do some of that kind of stuff. But what I didn't anticipate was that business owners have a limit. Business owners, once you start sending them a certain amount of leads, they no longer want them because they can no longer handle them or because they're not good at closing and they get scared. And as much as you think you're going to do a pay per lead model and you're going to send them millions of leads and thousands of leads and make $10,000 from one client, it's not going to happen because 99% of the businesses out there are not equipped to handle large quantities of leads. And once the little guy hits his threshold of 10 or 15 or 20, he is not going to want any more leads, but he can't come and tell you that because you're on a pay per lead deal. So instead, what he's going to do is he's going to downplay the quality of your leads, or she's going to downplay the quality of your leads. They're going to start going through with a red pencil. They're going to start complaining. They're going to start not calling the leads. They're not going to try because they get charged per lead. I didn't anticipate that. You know what else I didn't anticipate? I didn't anticipate that if I'm on a pay per lead model, that as soon as things slow down because of the winter, because of Christmas, that my income is going to go from $20,000 to $5,000 or $20,000 to $3,000 because the volume of leads, I'm charging $100 a lead and I'm getting, let's say 200 leads. Now I'm getting 50 leads and now my income just dropped to $5,000 overnight. November's good, December's terrible, January's worse, February's yeah. March, okay, there's a little light at the end of the tunnel. And I didn't anticipate. You know what else I didn't anticipate? I didn't anticipate how dishonest business owners were. If Kyle was on this call right now, which I know he's not because he went golfing this morning and I'm excited for him because he should, because he's freaking working his ass off. So I hope you're enjoying the round, Kyle. I did get an invite, but I couldn't make it because I'm on these calls. What Kyle will tell you guys this, we didn't anticipate that we'd have to deal with dishonest business owners. We would send leads with good faith and we would send the month's worth of leads and then we would invoice, right? Duh. We would invoice at the end of the month. And we had two experiences in late 2018 where we literally sent a lot of leads. I remember there was one company we sent at $100 a lead, we sent 150 leads. There was a couple different sites and we were trying to run ads, which we didn't know we were doing. And we had all this stuff going. We sent we sent 150 leads. It was a $15,000 invoice. And we were using the credit card to run the business. We were using the credit card to pay for the ads. And then when we would get paid, we'd pay off the credit card, there'd be a little bit left over. And that's how we were doing it. We were just kind of rolling it like that. And I remember there was two back to back. And I'm like, Kyle, that person that you closed, you know, I know you're not the debt collection guy, but like I can't get a hold of them and we're not getting paid. And we have a credit card bill of $12,000 and $15,000 supposed to come in and we need to get that paid. And I remember sitting in the office and Kyle's calling the guy. And Kyle's frustrated because his commission, part of it's sitting in that check. And I remember he answered the phone. He's like, hey, man, we got to get paid, blah, blah, blah. And I remember the guy goes, these leads are shit. I haven't closed any of them. Of course, blaming us. They're working for everybody else, but not for him, right? Typical victim mentality. And he's like, I'm not paying you shit. And if you want your money, come get it. And of course, this guy's in Illinois or some godforsaken state. I don't even know where it's at. By the way, if you're from Illinois, no offense. My little sister's living in Indianapolis right now. I'm just using an example. Okay. And he just flat out refused to pay us. Okay. That's 15 grand. So now instead of being a positive 3,000, I'm a negative 12. And I still got to pay my commissions on these guys. The sales guys are still making money. I'm not. I'm swallowing that. And I remember there's another company that owed us, I think it was about 8 to 10 grand. And we kept calling and calling and calling, and they give us their secretary who was their mom, and this and this and this excuse. And guess what, guys? Eventually they finally answered the phone and they said, there's been a tragedy. This thing happened, blah, blah, blah. And we're gonna have to file bankruptcy. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at Kyle, I'm like, dude, is this real? And sure as shit, because I sent them to collections because they owed us $8,000 to $10,000 that I needed. They went bankrupt and we never got paid. And these things kept happening and we'd get a little bit more behind and a little bit more behind. And all this, it all added up to, I got myself into $60,000 of debt. $60,000 sitting on credit cards of negative money that I owed other people. Imagine, I remember sitting there going, I am worse off right now than I was when I came into this world, because at least when I came in this world, I didn't owe shit to anybody. I was completely clean slate, and now I'm negative 60. Okay. Now that was 2019, negative $60,000 in debt. The beautiful part about the story, which you guys know, and I'm not going to focus on today, is that 8 months later, I was making $100,000 a month because I figured out this process. I put my mind, I put my head to the grindstone. I went to the lab, aka my office. I got to work. I eliminated all the distractions. I got very simplistic and very obsessed with figuring this out. And guys, within 8 months, I'd paid off my debt. I was making $100,000 a month. We're getting bids on the pool. I was buying real estate. My entire life changed. Okay. But I'm not focusing on that part because I'm tired of everyone focusing on the good part. What I want to focus on is that if you are not careful, you can have the right business model and you can still get in a world of hurt. Okay. And these are some of the lessons that I learned from this experience of what I want you guys to learn is, number one, I don't want you to trust me. I don't want you to come into this group and go, oh man, Ryan Dalton's making 75K. Everybody. No, everybody doesn't make 75K. A lot of people come in and they want to blame everybody else. I got somebody right now that I'm working with that is telling me that this doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Not satisfied. This doesn't work. Although it's working for hundreds of people, although Ryan Dalton's making 75K a month, although I've been able to scale up to 125K a month, although Eugene's at $45,000 a month, Patrick's at $30,000 a month, Mahmoud's at $35,000. Although all of those things and the hundreds of other people making money, it doesn't work. That's what happens to a lot of people. And so some of the lessons I learned from this experience, guys, number one, you can have the right business model and you can still lose. This is the right business model. You could still lose. Okay. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to scare you off. Maybe some of you guys are going to want to leave this group. That's okay. I'm tired of everyone just talking about the good. Okay. You can have the right business model and still lose. Number two, you can have the right business model, but if you don't have the right due diligence process, you're done. I had the right business model. I didn't have the right due diligence, and I went and built 50 plus websites in the wrong niche and city, the due diligence, and completely screwed myself over. Okay. Number three, you can have the right model, but if you don't have the right deal structure, it ain't going to work. I had the right model, but I had the wrong deal structure. I was doing a pay-per-lead model. Pay-per-lead doesn't work. It works at absolutely massive scale, and it's so far beyond what any of you guys are at or what I'm even at that I'm not even going to explain it. Okay. But I do know that it can work if you're at a home advisor scale. You have that many partners and you have that many vendors and you have that many whatever. But for those of us that are just starting, us average people, you need the right deal structure, and pay per lead ain't it. Okay. Number 4, another lesson I learned: don't take advice from people who aren't in the game. Don't take advice from people who aren't in the game, even if they once were. Don't take advice from people who are not in the game, even if they once were. Now, me saying this pretty much makes it so I have to stay in the game. But guess what? I'm okay with that because I like being in the game. I like knowing what's going on with the Google My Business, the Google Business Profiles. I like knowing what's going on doing business in other countries. I like knowing what's going on when the due diligence process changes and when the tools change and the search volume changes and the ads change. I want to know all this stuff. And if I have to research it anyway, of course I'm going to keep running my agency. So guys, do not take advice from people who are not in the game, even if they once were. Number 5, never take advice from someone who isn't where you want to eventually be. Number 6, and this is the one that I want to end with, guys. You either pay the piper or you pay somebody else who's paid the piper. Okay? I did both. I bought the program, but the program was incomplete. The program was outdated. The program didn't teach me ads. So on top of buying the programs, because I bought multiple, I also went and spent $1.45 million on ads. You either pay the piper or you pay somebody else who has paid the piper. But either way, there's no such thing as a shortcut. Okay? There's no such thing as a shortcut. I was having this conversation with my family the other day on Sunday, and everybody knows that, like, we all know 100 people that are on this. What's it called? What's this diet pill that, or this? Hold on. Yeah, it's called the Ozempic. Okay, it's Ozempic. You guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you guys are on it. That's fine. There's no such thing as shortcuts. And I know some people think they've cheated the game. And just so you guys know, we all know that who's on it. Okay. We all know you guys are on it. We all know who's on steroids. Okay. We can see it. No one respects it. There's no such thing as a shortcut. There's always a downside. There's always a downside. You pay the piper or you pay somebody else that's paid the piper. That's the game. Okay. I paid the piper. I paid the piper for years. And on top of paying the piper, I paid other people that had paid the piper, and it still took me years to figure this out. So I just want to tell you, for those of you that are in this, they're like, I'm going to go put this together and I'm going to take notes and I'm going to figure it out. Good luck. Okay. In fact, I would love you to try it. I would love you to try it. And in fact, was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had somebody got on a call with us. And he was like hum-hawing around about how smart he was. And I cut him off and I said, dude, I'm not letting you in my program. I want you to go spend $5,000 on ads and then call me. Because once you spend the $5,000, once you experience that pain, you're going to realize what I'm doing. You're going to see the value in what I'm actually doing. Okay. And I'm going to charge you double when your ass comes back. But I want you to go spend $5,000 on ads and then come talk to me. Because he was convinced he could do it on his own. And guess what? That's exactly what I told him to do. And that's exactly what he's doing. And go figure. It's crickets. Okay. Pay the piper or pay somebody else who has paid the piper. Those are the lessons I've learned. Guys, just because you're in the right business model doesn't mean you're going to make money. Just because you're in the right business model doesn't mean you have the right deal structure. Okay. Just because you're in the right business model doesn't mean you have the right due diligence process. Real estate is a really good vehicle. Physical real estate is a really good vehicle for building wealth. But guess what? If you don't know how to find a deal, if you don't know what a good deal looks like, you're screwed. If you don't know how to find an apartment complex or a duplex or a single family home and know, hey, this is a good deal, doesn't matter how long you do it, you're screwed. Okay. How do you go and learn those things? Well, you either go and make the mistakes by buying the wrong houses 4, 5, 6, 7 times, or you go plug into a group, you go get a mentor, you go get a program, and you go and learn exactly what not to do. That's it. It's so simple. It really is simple. It's exciting, guys. You guys know at the beginning of 2023, I wanted to get in the best shape of my life. I was turning 33 that year. I wanted to be in the top pristine shape. And I did this exact same principle. I went online. I'm like, I'm going to find somebody that's natural because I'm not taking steroids. I'm not taking TRT. I don't care what your opinion is on it. I'm not going to do it. To me, it feels like it's a shortcut, and I ain't into shortcuts. I don't want shortcuts. I don't want to be in the gym and people like, dude, what are you taking? I want to always be able to look them in the eye and say water. I take water and I eat a lot of chicken. That's it. And you could test my blood, but I've never taken anything else. I'm never going to give that up. Okay. And so I found somebody that was completely natural, that was my age. And I found out they had a program. I bought the programs. And then I was like, I want the accountability and I want to be able to ask them certain questions. I want access to them. And so I reached out to this person on Instagram and I just said, hey, I want to pay you to train me one-on-one. And he's like, yeah, we don't really do that. I'm like, well, just tell me your price. And he did. And I said, okay, deal. Gave me his cell phone number and I got trained personally by this person. And I have never, as of last year, since about mid last year until now, I've never been in better shape my entire life. And I'm the oldest I've ever been, right? I'm the oldest I've ever been. And I've also never eaten more shit. I've never eaten more chocolate. I've never eaten more ice cream. I've never eaten, whatever. But I now understand what to work out, what the nutrition is, when to work out, how to work out, what I need to focus on, what my actual training regimen should be, what style should I be doing, 4 sets of 10? Should I be doing, heaviest set first, 3 set? I didn't know this stuff. And I sat there and I was like, I could go and learn. I could go get my certification. I could go and do this, or I could just slide this guy 20 G's or whatever it was and learn from him. And guys, that coaching, I think we did less than 10 calls. We did less than 10 Zoom calls and a few texts. That's what I paid $20,000+ for. But it got me the result. So I don't give a shit. It got me the result, which is the best shape I've ever been in my life. Okay. The strongest I've ever felt, the most energetic I've ever had. And I'm the oldest that I've ever been, obviously. Okay. So the lesson, guys, is I want to earn your trust. I want you guys to know that I'm not just going to talk about the good stuff. Yes, there's a lot of people making a lot of money, but for every person that's making a lot of money, there's 4 people out there that are blaming everybody else and aren't doing dog shit with this because they don't have the process. They're trying to do it on their own. They're trying to shortcut. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. They're trying to watch one YouTube video and go, oh my gosh, my ads aren't working. Oh shit, dude. Oh shit. What do you think? They're just going to work because you turned them on? You don't know how to set them up. You haven't put in the work to deserve to know how to set them up. You go and set up one project and you wonder why it's so competitive and you can't rank and the ads you don't have a due diligence process because you never paid anyone to give you one, or you never did it 1,000 times to learn it. Choose one. Pay the piper or pay somebody that's already paid the piper. Guys, appreciate you being on these calls. Actually, you know what I want to do really quick? I don't know if we have anyone on. Who do we freaking have? Okay, I'm going to give away a couple of these things. Shannon, I like seeing you on. I think you were on the whole call or most of it. Shannon, I want to give you one of these. These are the Digital Landlord Badge mouse pad. Go ahead and message Fix It Felix and say mouse pad. Fix It Felix will give you a code. You'll put it. It's a simple gift, but set it on your desk. It's nice on the old palm, and I think they're pretty dope. I think they're pretty sick. It's something you use every day. If you have a laptop, get one anyway. Okay. I want to give one of these to Shannon. Message Fix It Felix. I want to give one to Kurt. Message Fix It Felix. I've seen your name for a while. Kurt, where are you at, bro? I want to know where you're at in terms of deals. Okay. I want to give one to you. And Simon and Braxton. Braxton, what's up, dude? Simon, I want to give one of these to you. Message Fix It Felix, get one of these. And then Braxton Peterson, my man. I actually know Braxton personally. Braxton, what's up, dude? Been a minute. Braxton, I can actually give you one of these in person. So you can hold tight. Braxton, you can come pick this up from my office and I'm going to give this to you. So I hope you're doing well, man. Guys, thanks for being on the call. Let's go make some money this week. This is the freaking best business model on the internet. And I say this a lot, but like I get super giddy about this from time to time. And I'm in one of those phases where I'm really, really excited about this model. I'm seeing people change their lives. I think it was Ryan Dalton hitting 75K that really juiced me up. It's amazing, dude. He's followed a formula. He's got a full-time job as an attorney, not some bullshit job, but a real full-time job as an attorney. He's got a dog. He's got kids. He's got to take care of the pool. He's got to mow the lawn. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. He runs a group where he kind of holds people accountable. The guy is busy and he's at 75K per month, following the process, following the formula, following the perfect recipe. If he can do it, so can you guys. I'm out.